Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the multiplexers and comparators. In our previous lectures, we have seen the encoders and decoders, and what about the 7 segment decoders and encoders. So now we will say about the multiplexer. So first of all, we will see that multiplexer is just like an encoder, but there is a extra features of select inputs. So it is a combinational circuit and which have a many data inputs and single output, and it is to depend on the control or select inputs. For suppose we have a n input lines, okay, so that is basically what will be the selection line. So if we have a n input lines, so there is a base 2, so log n is the selections line. Suppose, or we can say that 2 raised to power n input lines, so we have a n selections line. So what about the n is the number of selections lines, and 2 raised to power n is the output lines, but at that time particular there is a single output lines. So multiplexer is also known as a data n selector parallel to serial converter. Means either you can say it many to ones, means you have a many input signals and you have only one output line. So what will happens here, and which type of or what input will be selected, it will be depend on the selections lines. So whatever input you have to give your selection lines, according to that you will select the particular one input from your different from your number of inputs, and then that input will be reflected or continue to the output signal. So that is a basically how you can select. If you have number of devices, and suppose you want to particularly operate one device at a time, and that devices number of devices is just like a input signals, and from your selector lines you have to select particular device. Yes, this device we want to conduct or operate, so that device will be selected from your number of selections lines, and that device will be continue or conducted to the operate at the output terminals, or it will be executed at it according to our selection line. So that is a system ki how we can select our particular input signal from a number of signals. So that is here we can see the block diagram. So in this block diagram, we can see input data lines, that is 2 raised to power n, and that is a multiplexer, that is equal to 2 raised to power n raised to 1. So you have a output data lines, and what about the n? N is the number of selection lines. So you can take the value of n, that is the 2, 4, 8, 60, 32, whatever you want to design your multiplexer according to that numbers. So n is basically an integer value. So that this is a basic block diagram. There are number of inputs, selection lines, and there is a output lines. So we will slightly move. That is basically multiplexer is also known as a, just as we have to already told you, that is known as a data selector. So basically multiplexer is a device that selects between several analog or digital input signals and forward the selected input into the single output. So that is basically selection is basically directed by a separate set of digital input signals, and that is called as a selection lines. So you can see here, suppose you have a 4 raised to 1 multiplexer. So 4 raised to 1 means you have a 4 input signals and 1 output signal. So this is the basically 4 raised to 1, since you have a 4 input signals, and that is equivalent to 2 raised to power 2. So the number of selection lines will be only 2, and that is the S0 and S1. So that is the selection lines. This is the basic tabular chart, how you can select. So that is a S0 and S1, that is a selector lines, and Y. What about the Y? Output, and which input will be selected at that particular input supply of your selector line. So that is basically 0 0. If you have applied both the selector line 0 0, so that is I0 will be selected. If you are giving the 0 1 to your selector line, so at that particular condition I1 is selected. 1 0 is you have to give an S0 and S1. So I2 is selected, and 1 1 you have to given, that is a I3 is selected. So now what will happens here? You have a selector lines, and according to that you will choose your output I0. So final equation can also be right, since there is 0 0, so you can write it as a S0 dash S into I0, plus 1, so that is you can write it as a S0 dash dot S1 into I1. Same thing is here, S0 S1 dash I2 plus S0 S1, that is the I3. So there is a final equation of our multiplexer equations. Uh, this is also a 4 raised to 1 channel matrix. If you want to design your signals in terms of, suppose you can see here, that is your selector line. So how you can select? So this is the basic block diagram by using the gate. So what about the select lines 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, and you have the A B C D, means you have 4 input signals, okay, and 4 inputs and 1 input signal will be selected. So that is basically based on the parameters. So you can see here A, B, C, D, all inputs are given to the 4 NAND gates, and you have A and B. According to that, your inputs 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So this is given to that particular NAND gate, and these are again all are combined with the NAND gate, and that is the final output Q. So according to that, according to your selector lines, which type of input will be selected and it will be reflected at the output terminal. So this is the basically truth table. In truth table, we have given the select lines A and B, and after then there is a inputs A, B, C, D, and there is a output Q. So that is basically 1 1 1 there. So that pointers 4 to 1 channel multiplexer. So in there is a 3 types of, basically we have seen the basic block diagram, and after that block diagram we can represent it in terms of the NAND gates. So this is a basic representation of 4 raised to 1 channel matrix in terms of the NAND gates. So if you are talking about the Boolean expression, so you can write your 4 raised to 1 channel matrix in this way, that this is the final equation. So this is also you can write in terms of, so there are two options, either you can write in terms of AND gates and OR gates, or you can represent it in terms of the NAND gates. So both are the options which we can select. So this is the basic logic gates diagram of our multiplexer. Now what will happen? You have to suppose 4 raised to 1 multiplexer. So you can also design your 4 raised to 1 multiplexer by using the 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. So what about the 2 raised to 1 multiplexer? If you are talking about the 2 raised to 1 multiplexer, means there is 2 inputs and 1 outputs. Okay. And if you are talking about the selector line, so that is only one, so you can give either 0 or 1, and there are two input signals I0 and I1, and there is again 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. So there are 2 raised to 1 multiplexer, and by these 2 multiplexer can be again inserted into 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. So this is the 4 input signals I0, I1, I2, I3, and these are applied to the again 2 raised to 1 multiplexer, and this is the output signals. So you can give the selector lines. So in 2 raised to 1 multiplexer, number of selector lines, that is equal to 1. So you can do here, this is the output. So S0, S1 and I. So what will happen? So you can give the S0, S1. So S0 is either 0 or 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So S0, S1, you can combine these two. So these are S0. We can select S0, and second multiplexer selector lines will be S1. So according to that, you will select simultaneously. So by using the 2 raised to 1 multiplexers, we can design a 4 raised to 1 multiplexer. So this is our basic concept of multiplexer, how we can design 4 raised to 1 multiplexer by using it. So for designing a 4 raised to 1 multiplexer, you have to require 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. Now what you have to see, this is a 4 raised to 1, 4 raised to 1, 4 raised to 1, 4 raised to 1. So in this way, you can see that you have a 16 inputs and you have a 1 output. And how many selector lines you have? You have a, if you have a 16, so 2 to the power 4. So you have 4 selector lines. Okay, so what will happen? So one by one you have to consider. So S0, S1, and at last you have to select the S2 and S3. So this is again the 4 selector lines S0, S1, S2 and S3. So 4 selector lines, 16 input signals and 1 output signals. So this is basically 4 raised to 1. So if 4 raised to 1 multiplexer, 2 selector lines, you can see here. These are the four inputs, and after then you can merge the output of the 4 raised to 1 multiplexer into the 4 raised to 1 multiplexer, and then we can get the output. So by using the sub multiplexers or a very small part of your multiplexer, we can also design a big number of lines of multiplexer. Now, what about the demultiplexer? So basically, demultiplexer is again a reverse operation of your multiplexer. So now, what will happen if demultiplexer? So a demultiplexer is basically a combination circuit that has only one input lines and 2 raised to power n output lines. So that is basically reverse of our multiplexer. And on the basis of value of selection lines. Okay, so again here is the rule of selection lines. The input will be connected to the one of these outputs. So suppose you have a number of outputs, you have a single input. So what is the procedure by using the selector line? So what type of inputs you have to apply in your selector lines? That particular due to that particular output line will be selected by using the selector lines, and that particular output will be connected to the input line. So this is a basically demultiplexer. Demultiplexer is opposite to the multiplexer scheme. So that is just reverse, unlike an encoder and decoder. So there is a n selection line. So now what will happen here? 1 raised to 16. So you can again design a demultiplexer. 1 raised to 16 demultiplexer has one input and 4 selection lines, and output is equal to y0 to y50. So again, you can design a demultiplexer. Input line is only one. Okay. Selection line is again 4, and the output lines will be y50 to y0. So again, block diagram of 1 raised to 16 demultiplexer using the lower order multiplexer is shown. So how you can design, you can see here. You have to given 1 into 8, 1 into 8, so you can multiply by these two. So there are two 1 into 8, 1 into 8 demultiplexer, and these two multiplexer will be multiply with help of 1 raised to 2 demultiplexer, and then you can achieve your data, output data I. So this is a basic process in which you are using the demultiplexer. So 1 into 2 demultiplexer, 1 into 8 and 1 into 8. So you have the 8 output lines. Okay, so 8 output lines. So in this way you can receive the 16 output lines with respect to the input signal 1. And these signal lines can be selected with help of selector lines. So now you can see 1 raised to 4. You can also design a 1 raised to 4 demultiplexer. Selector lines is S1 and S0, and outputs will be 4, Y0 to Y0. So what will happen? Single input I will be connected to one of the output by using the selector line. So what type of signals you will select here? You will connect your input into the output side. So that will be decided by your selector lines. So same thing is here. What we have to told you, 1 raised to 4 demultiplex. Now you can see here the truth table. What will happen in truth table? In truth table, you have a selection inputs S1 and S0, and you have the output Y0, Y1, Y2, and Y0. So according to selector line, you have one input, 4 outputs, and 2 selector lines. So selector lines input will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, and according to that our output will be selected. So we can see here our in output stream only one output is high, remaining is low. So is low. Only one part will be. Now this is the basic diagram. 1 raised to 4. These are the output. These are the input signals, and you can design by using the gates. Okay, so this is a logic gate diagram. Now what is the classification? We can implement following two higher order demultiplexers. So what higher order demultiplexer, how we can perform it? 1 raised to 8 demultiplexer and 1 raised to 16 demultiplexer. So this is the method by using through which we can demultiplex it. So how we can design 1 raised to 8? So 1 raised to 8 multiplexer can also be designed by using the 1 raised to 4 and 1 raised to 4 multiplexer. So you can using 1 raised to 4 demultiplexer and 1 raised to 2 multiplexer, we can design a 1 raised to 8 multiplexer. We know that 1 raised to 4 demultiplexer has a single input, 2 selection lines and 4 outputs. So this is the basic description of our demultiplexer. Whereas 1 raised to 8 demultiplexer has a single input, 3 selection lines and 8 outputs. Okay. So again, we require two 1 raised to 4 demultiplexer in second stage in order to get the final 8 states. Okay. And again, if second stage is these two, okay, मतलब we require to 1 raised to 2 multiplexer for adding these 1 raised to 4 and 1 raised to 4. So in this way, the input of 1 raised to 2 demultiplexer is the overall input. So what is the input? So we can see in this diagram where is we have to put. Just see here. This is the output. Okay, so these are the 1 raised to 8 and these are multiplied by. So this input is the final input of this one. You can make these diagram using these combinations. Now what will happen here? Input of this 1 raised to 2 demultiplexer will be the overall input of this, and 1 raised to 8 demultiplexer has one input, 3 selection lines, and output is y0 to y7. So now we will see the next, the common lines. So what is the basic functioning? S1 and S0 is the selector lines applied to the both 1 raised to 4 demultiplexer, and output of these are y4 to y7, and output of lower multiplexer is y0 to y7. So y0 to y3, so that is a basically sequence of that particular output. The order of selection line, so again you have to apply to the 1 raised to 2 demultiplexer if S2 is 0. And then one of the 4 outputs of lower 1 by 4 demultiplexer will be equal to 1. So I based on the value of selection lines S1 and S0. So similarly, if S2 is 1, then one of the 4 outputs of upper 1 raised to 4 demultiplexer will be equal to inputs, and I based on the value of selection of input S0 and S1. If you are want to design a 1 raised to 16 demultiplexer, so what you have to done in this section, let's us implement 1 raised to 16 demultiplexer. So this can be designed by using the 1 raised to 8 and 1 raised to 8 2 demultiplexer. What is the basic specification? The basic specification of demultiplexer is 1 raised to 8 has 18 single input, okay, 3 selection lines and 8 outputs. So if you want to design a 1 raised to 16 demultiplexer has a single input, 4 selection lines and 16 outputs. So we require 1 raised to 8, 1 raised to 8 demultiplexer. Okay. So in this category or in this system, what you have to done in second stage, we have to require 1 into 8 demultiplexers. And in this way, we can get the 16 outputs. Since number of input in second stage is 2, so what will happen? We require 1 raised to 2 demultiplexer in first stage, so that output of first stage will be the inputs of the second stage. Okay, so you can see here. That is the same thing. Input of 1 raised to 2 is the overall input. So what we have to show in our diagram, this is a selector lines S0, S1 and S2 is applied to the both 1 raised to 8 demultiplexer, and output of upper are Y15 to Y8, and output of lower demultiplexer is 1 raised to 8 demultiplexers. And selection lines is again same thing what we have to told you in S0, S1 and S2. So if S3 is 1, then one of the 8 outputs of upper will be selected, and if it will be the and demultiplexer input. You can see here. This is the selection lines, and according to that, the Y0, Y1, Y2, which one output will be selected by using these selection lines S0, S1 and S2. So that is basically depend on your system. Now we will the magnitude comparator. So in our previous, so in this slide we have seen that how we can design our multiplexer. So multiplexer and demultiplexer. So there is a sub part. So you can also design your large multiplexer with help of sub multiplexer. So this is a basic general rule of designing a higher order multiplexer. Now magnitude comparator. So we will see about what about the magnitude comparator. A magnitude digital comparator is a combinational circuit. Okay, it is a combination circuit that compares the two digital or binary numbers in order to find out whether one number is greater than, equal to, or less than. So you have to compare. So now what will happen? We logically design a circuit. So if you want to compare the bits, what you have to do? Ideally, you design ki A and B. If you have two inputs, then you have to compare A is greater than B, A is equal to B, or A is less than B. So that is the conditions in that will used in our magnitude comparator. So this is the n bit comparator. You can see here. What about the n bit? Number of bits. A and B is the two inputs, so you can judge if you have given the n bit comparator. What type of comparators bit comparator you have to given? Suppose you have to given your input A and B. So now what will happen? You will compare, and then you will decide either A is greater than B, A is equal to B, or A is less than B. So this is the three condition in which our n bit comparators work out. First, magnitude comparator. So that is basically 1 bit magnitude comparator. So that is compare 2 bits. As we have to see, it consists of 2 inputs, each of the 2 single bit. So that is basically diagram. 1 bit comparator. So there are 3 conditions. Either A will be less than B, either A will be equal to B, or A will be greater than B. So if you want to compare, so input signals, whatever input signals you have to apply, that will be compared with the other part. Either it will be equal, or it will be greater than, or it will be less than. So there are 3 conditions. Now there is a 2-bit magnitude. So 1 bit means you have a 2-bit A and B. Now what will happen here? There is a 2-bit. Okay, so what about the 2-bit magnitude comparator? So a comparator used to compare two binary numbers. Each of 2 bits is called as a 2-bit. So that is called as a 2-bit comparator because two binary numbers. Okay, so it consists of 4 inputs, 3 outputs to generate less than, equal to, or greater than. So we can see again. Now comparator used to compare two binary numbers. So we can implement 1 raised to 8. Okay, so this is we have to implement in this way. So now what will happen here, and what about the truth table for 2-bit comparator? So here we are working on the 2-bit comparator. So it will see you. There is 3 conditions again. In spite of you have to using A0 and A1 2-bit and B0 and B1 2-bit. So you want to compare these 2-bit comparator. So you want to compare these bits with help of the output bits, and output is equal to A is equal to B, A is greater than B, or A is less than B. So there is again a 3 conditions. Okay, what type of results you are achieving from your A and B. So by using this, you can by help of A0, A1, B1, so you can make a K mapping for it. Okay, so you have the option. We make a K-map. So there is a B1, B0 and here is a A1, A0. So now what will happen? So you can see here. You have to fill your input according to your K mapping and then you have to write the basic equation. If there is any type of combination, you will make a combination and then the reduced form of circuit we have written here. So this is a, this is a pair and this is the what will happens, and again this is the free. You can also make a pairs of this both two. So this is the options. So you can what will happens here? You can make a pair, you can make a quad, and you can also make a pair in side corners. So this is the basic how you can make a pair. So this is the equation A1 B1. So you have to know A0 B1 dash B0 dash and A1 A0 B0 dash. So now what will happens here? So A is equal to, again you can see here. So either A is greater than B, so you have to this type of equations. And if A is equal to B, so you have a this type of equations. And A is less than B, so you have a equation of A1 dash B1 plus A0 dash B1 B0 plus A1 dash A0 dash B0. So this is our the comparative chart for this is the equations which we have using for comparing the A and B, two variables. Again, we will now focus our attention to the 4-bit magnitude comparator. So what about the 4-bit? So a comparator used to compare two binary numbers and each of a 4-bit. Okay. So it is called as a 4-bit magnitude comparator. So it consists of a 8 inputs, 4-bit for A and 4-bit for B. So A0, A1, A2, A3 and B0, B1, B2, B3. So there are 8 inputs, each for two 4-bit numbers and 3 outputs to generate the less than, equal to or greater than between two binary numbers. Now what will happen here? In a 4-bit comparator, the condition of A is greater than B can be possible in the following 4 cases. So what will happen? There is a 4 bits A0, A1, A2, A3 and B0, B1, B2, B3. So if A3 is 1 but B3 is 0, if A3 B3 is 0 but A2 is 1, B2 is 0, A3 B3 is 0 but A3 A2 B2 0, so though both are equal but there is a third bit A1 0, B1 0, A3 B3 3 are equals and A0 is 1 and B0 is 0. So there is a conditions for only that condition is for A is greater than B. So these are the cases, 4 cases. Similarly, if you want to design this condition for A is less than B, so it is also possible. If you are less than, so A is 0, B3 is 1, standard. A3 B3 equal but A2 0, B2 1. A3 B3 is equal but A2 B2 are also equal. But what about the A1 0 and B1 1? And if 3 are equals, then you can design for A0 is 0 and B0 is equal to 1. So there are 4 cases for A is less than B. Now there is a condition for A is equal to B is possible only when all the individual bits of one number exactly coincide with the corresponding bits of the another number. So this is the conditions of our 4-bit comparators, and what will happen? Now we'll move to the further BCD adder. So this is the condition in which you can just slightly we can move here. How we can make a 4-bit comparator. So first of all, you have a bits options. You can design. So there is a chart, and you can design a particular map for a particular signal. So that is the, you can see here, less than, equal to or greater than, and there are variables A1, B1, B0. So that is the basic conditions which is applied for our K map. You can also design a comparator for comparing our signals. So now we will see about the BCD adder. So what about the BCD? binary coded decimal number. We have already seen in number system what about the how we can write a BCD number. Okay, so BCD stands for binary coded decimal number. So suppose we have two 4-bit numbers A and B. So A and B can varies from 00 to binary number. So binary number 00 to from 0 to 9. So what will happens to 0? 0 is written as a 0000, and 9 is written as a 1001 in the binary. So because we are considering only the decimal numbers. So this is a A to 0 to 9. The output will varies from, so now what will happen here? You can see here the output will varies from 0 to 18. So if we are not considering the carry the from previous sum. So but suppose there is a 19. So maximum value of output will be 19. So 9 plus 9 plus 1. So that is the 19. So when we are simply adding A and B, then we get the binary sum. And here to get the output in BCD form, we will use the BCD adder. So that is basically output in BCD form. So generally we have simply follow the BCD addition rules, and that according to that rule we will design the BCD adder. So there is an example one how you can implement this one. A and B you have given the both the numbers, and you now you have to add this. So just start to adding these two numbers. So output will be 101. So explanation, when we are adding A is equal to 7 and B is equal to 8. So the value of binary sum will be 15. But BCD sum will be 10101, where 1 is the 0001 in binary and 5 is the 0101 in the binary. So you have to given the 1 and 5. So you have to write the 1 separate and 5 to separate. So that is called as a BCD addition. Not you can write as a 1111 in our binary adder. Input A 0101 and B is equal to 1001. So what about the output? The same thing is happens. When you add the 5 and 9, so you will got the 14. So how you can write the 14? So after 9 you can't write that particular number in binary 4-bit binary form. So how you can write this 14? So you can write the 14 in 1 and 4. So that is equal to, so you can write the 1 as a 0001 in binary, and 4 is the 0100 in the binary system. So that is the method of writing the system. So what about the sum of two number is less than or equal to the 9? Okay. So when these are equal to, so you can simply represent. Okay. So BCD sum and binary sum will be the same. So there is no difference what type of process we are applying to the binary sum. Same will be applied to our the BCD sum. So there is no difference if both the numbers are after addition or sum is the less than or equal to our number 9. So let's move to the table and find out the logic when we are going to add. We are adding. So what you have to adding when your number is greater than particular 9? So you have to add the 6. So the conditions are C dash is equal to 1, S3 dash and S2 dash that is equal to 1, that satisfies 12 and 15, and S3 dash and S1 dash that is equal to 1. So our logic is C dash plus S3 dash dash S2 dash plus S3 dash plus S1 dash. So there is a different combinations which we have to use in our BCD adder. So just you can see this is the diagram. So you can see what you have to 4-bit adder and 4-bit adder. Okay. So A and B you have to given the 2-bit number S0, S1 dash, S2 dash. There is a comparator. Okay, so you have also given the comparator, and this is again our NOR gate. That is just the shape, so that we can give the input, too many inputs to the in this part. You can see in this diagram, this is the 2 AND gates. So this is a 4-bit adder. This is again a 4-bit adder. So you can add your 4-bit adder system. So that is a basically BCD adder. If your sum is greater than the 9, so what you have to done, you have to add the 6 for removing that particular point. And at that, if your addition is less than or equal to 9, so at that particular time your binary addition is equal to the BCD additions. So that is basically our comparator circuit. So once again we will revise here what type of addition and comparator circuit. So in this lecture we have covered only the combinational circuit. So what type of combinational circuits we are using? We are working on the multiplexer and demultiplexers, and we also seen in this here how we can design a multiplexer and demultiplexer by very small multiplexer and demultiplexer. So that is basically after addition or conversion of our small assembly of our small multiplexer, we can design a long or large number of input lines multiplexer. So this is the reason how we can assemble our big multiplexer with help of small multiplexers. And demultiplexer is the same process what we have to see in our multiplexing process. So in multiplexing process, what will happens here? What will the work of our demultiplexer? The demultiplexer is simply you have a 2 raised to power n output lines and you have a only single input lines, and now you have to select what type of inputs you will select according to the number of lines. So this is the reason. So now we will move to the magnitude comparator. So there is again a system, the 1-bit comparator, 2-bit comparator, 4-bit comparator, and there is a particular decision you have to take according to your system. So that is basically a comparator which will tell you which number is greater than of another number, and this is a very complicated process, but it will be very easily handled by our K-map technology also. So this is a very compact devices which will be have to used in this pattern. Now third one is the BCD addition. So what will happens in BCD addition? We have also seen this topic in number system where we have to told you what about the BCD number. So BCD number is nothing else, that is basically a normal number system that will be represented into 0 to 9. So 0 to 9 number is in 0 to 9, binary number and BCD number is same. But now what will happens apart from 9, when your number is exceeded from 9, you cannot represent directly in the binary form. You have to take it the separate two parts and then you can represent. So this is a very important features which we have to remember for BCD addition. Now what is the basic process if you are done the BCD addition? So in BCD addition there is again a problem. If your number is exceeded to 9, what you can do? Because your system is working, and if that number is greater than what is the procedure in your system? So we will see that in if you are want to add these numbers, so BCD numbers. So if your number is exceeded, then you have to subtract the 6110 from a particular that unit for representing your final answer. So that is the basic process. By using that, we can represent our final values. So once again, that is a very simple. We can design a BCD adder by using the NAND gates. There is no tough task. So you can first of all you can see how we will make a adder, and after then we will also work out on the adder or subtractor part of our BCD additions. Now we will move focus to the some small objective questions. So before starting the objective questions, we have to use these BCD addition and magnitude comparator circuits. So that is basically comparison is done in comparator circuits, and the applications is basically in different industries we are working on this particular comparator circuit. So now we can see here. You can see. So what about the multiplexer? So you have to know what I have to told you in our lecture. So what about the multiplexer? So it will be better. You can explain it. It is a type of decoder or multiplexer device which converts many into one. It takes one input, so you have to know results into the many outputs. It is a type of encoder. So it decodes the several inputs and given one output. So there are so many options you have to given and you have to choose the proper options. But now what about the comparator? So all the comparison made by the comparator is done using, so what type of circuits you have to require and how you can do the comparator or all the comparison by a comparator. So A0, B0, A1, B1, okay, A2, B2. So that is basically done by using the how many number of circuits you have to require. You can also see that is not the outcome of magnitude comparator. So what type of phenomena we are working on the particular comparator circuit. So you can see from here what will happens if two numbers are not equal. So then binary variables will be, so how much you can give the two numbers not equal. So binary variable will be, so you have to select the value which will be the binary variables. So that is the same. Yeah. Now, how many inputs are required for digital comparator? So if you are designing a comparator, so how many inputs you have to require? So there is a options. Uh, what will be the basic input of your comparator circuit? So I think this topic is clear to you. कि how was the multiplexer? Why we are to required? And we can also see one objective in a comparator. If we get the as A is greater than B, so what will happen? What type of outputs you are receiving. So there is a certain, you have to just go through that all the lectures and you can solve it. Combinational circuit is renowned for selecting a single input from the multiple inputs. So what about the data selector switch or data distributor? So what the name we have to indicate for by using this? Again we have a question will be, it is possible for enable or strobe input to undergo an expansion of two or more max ICs to digital multiplexer with the provision of large number of, so the, yeah, you can see that why we are using the combinations in our multiplexer and demultiplexer. What we have to see, we have seen that we will make the large lines of multiplexer with help of two small multiplexer. So if you want to design a 8 raised to 1, 4 raised to 1, so you can take the help of a smaller multiplexer for designing a complicated or large amount of multiplexer. So this is the simple things. So what is the function of a enable input on a multiple chip? So you can also design how you can enable input on a multiplexer chip. So that is the by applying. You have to also remember this thing. So I think it will be clear to you. So this is a very basic part. How you can compare the number system? What about the BCD adder system? And what is a multiplexer, demultiplexer, and all these combinational circuits we are using in our digital electronics. Now, in our next topic, we will focus on the sequential circuit. So today we will discuss about the combinational circuit. In previous lecture, we will also see some of the combinational circuit of half adder, full adder, subtractor in our previous lecture we have to also seen. So today this topic will be finished. Now we will switch to the sequential. So what is the role of sequential circuit? In sequential circuit, our output is depend not only in the previous, not only in the present input, but it will also depend on the previous input. So this is the basic theme of our sequential circuit. And in sequential circuit there will be the basic SR latches, flip flops, and according to flip-flop you will design the shift registers, and after designing a shift register you can switch to the counters, and at last we will focus on the design of a counter. So that is all things we will discuss here. So I think it's okay. uh, Thank you.